Yo, what's up everybody? How's it going? Today we're playing some Ability Arena. Now, today we're gonna do something a little bit different. We're gonna do a little bit of a tutorial, a little bit of a guide. Now, if I may just say so, I think I'm pretty decent at Ability Arena, right? Like I kind of know how the game works. And so I thought it might be a good idea for me to pass my knowledge on a little bit. So we're gonna go ahead and spend some time playing a game and then giving like a bit of a additional advice session at the end. And hopefully this will help you all get that MMR. Just for the sake of protocol, my ranking right now in Ability Arena is 179. Look at that. So in case you don't know what that means I am currently the 179th highest ranked player, which is good, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed, and let's get into the game. So, our first decision here is going to have to be picking which lord or god we want to play. Now, for that, we generally want to kind of check the store. And I'm going to check if there's Reaper's Scythe. Reaper's Scythe is available. We can do a fun build with this. But you know what? Let's roll into Dazzle. So, I think all of us have Dazzle. Out of the free characters, out of the ones that are available to anyone, I think Dazzle is by far the best one. And that's because Dazzle will give you a higher placement on average. And Dazzle inherently enables a strong, aggressive curve. And that's how I like to play. So we're going to go ahead and play Dazzle, and that way I can show you the Dazzle curve as well. So first we need to pick a character. Really all we care about is stats. I like going for early supporting heroes like Winter Wyvern. Winter Wyvern got great stats. These are really, really good stats. And as a support, she doesn't really need... you know, like we can keep this hero for the entire game. We're never going to need to reroll her. We can just keep her, which is great. And then we buy the best ability here. And so far, none of this was good, but we found Rolling Boulder, which is an incredible ability. This is a super, super, super good spell. So we're going to buy it. Now, what I like to do early on already is I like to build towards late game. So I don't just build towards what is good right now, what can win me the current fight, but I build towards how do I win the game, right? I'm not just planning for round 2, 3, 4. I am already planning for rounds 20, 21, 22, and so on. So for that, Rolling Boulder I think is great. I generally don't like buying abilities that aren't going to be used in the final composition because I consider that a waste of money. And I am perfectly happy to trade HP to enable that. So that's basically what I am saying we should do, is we give up our health pool so that we can then buy better abilities early on and save money so we can build into a stronger lineup. Now let's have another look, right? It's always very important. So we see that Mirror Image and Mana Break are available, but is Curse of Awareness available? That's a really big combo piece there. No. So I don't actually like Mirror Image that much. So I'm going to probably go Plague Wards, which are okay. And I'm still going to buy the Mirror Image, but I'm not planning to incorporate it into any sort of late game combo. Sadly, our shop hasn't been very blessed. We've gotten a lot of fairly mediocre stuff, but that's okay. Summons are generally nice for the early game because they help you win the early game. They tend to be just a lot of additional damage, and they... you know, they're nice. They're just a simple little tool. And then we get our next shop here. Now, this is again the problem, is we have Beastmaster and Meepo, and these are shit. These are not good carries or tanks. But we've got Lich, who is a fine support, right? Like, his stats are way better than these. Like, yes, it's more mana heavy, but that's okay, because we can make him use the mana. Our support is going to use the mana. So we're going to go ahead and pick Lich. What this also means is that we don't actually have a good front line, which is unfortunate, but that's just how it's going to be. And then we level up. We level up the shop here. Yes, every time. We go and level up the shop. It's important we level up the shop quickly. It's really valuable to do that. Now, our plan here is to get 2 supports, 2 threats, and 1 frontliner. That's our composition. I go for that pretty much every game. Sometimes I vary it up a little bit. Occasionally you can go for 3 threats if you want, but you're always gonna need a frontliner and you're always gonna need at least 1 support. That's just mandatory. Now, what are those different roles? Well, a threat is something that will kill your opponent. I know, crazy thought. But that's really what it comes down to. The threat is there to kill whatever your opponent has. By the way, on this round, we buy something, and then we got a roll, and we get buy 2 more things. Still very poor selection, but I'm pretty happy about Acid Spray. That's a good ability. This is a supporting ability. So what are supporting abilities? Supporting abilities is stuff that makes it so that your threats can do their damage, or it enhances their damage. So Acid Spray makes it so they deal more damage because of the armor reduction. Other abilities. So here are the most important supporting abilities in the game. Frost Shield, Heavenly Grace, and Inkswell. That's the 3 most important supporting abilities. No questions asked 100% of the time. These are god tier abilities that you want to go for every single game. Like if they are available, you go for them. No questions asked. We're going to go and level up here again. They are super, super good. This is massive damage reduction. This is status resistance, massive amount of status resistance. And this right here is a huge AoE stun. It's a purge, it's a heal. Once we get to super, and we want to try to get to super for this one. And yeah, so those are the best supporting abilities. Then there is False Promise. This is also a great supporting ability. Right? It also works very nicely and is very effective. But I personally don't value it as highly as those other 3 because it's an ultimate. So we'll see if we go for that. Now, we need to keep an eye on the spell deck constantly because we need to kind of figure out what we can go for. So there's a bunch of interesting abilities that are immediately noteworthy. So we can see, for example, Jingle Mastery is available. We can see that Chemical Rage is available. We can see Fervor. That means we have something scary there. We have potential for a build. Let me check if Luminosity is available, which is one of my favorites. No, Luminosity is not available. Okay, that's fine. We don't need it as badly. But we have Jingle Mastery, Fervor, Fury Swipes, and Chemical Rage. That is a build. There's no take aim, so we're going to need to actually get the melee heroes close. This right here, the fight that's playing out, who cares about it? It just doesn't matter, right? Like, if we take some damage, that's fine. This damage doesn't matter. So, we get to pick something again. Now, I don't like Pudge. He's got no armor, no int, bad frontliner. We need some int on the hero. Armor is optional, but would be good. I like Bloodseeker. Look at this dude. He's got good stats. Great. We'll pick Bloodseeker. Very happy about him. All right, we just slap him over here. And he can just kind of tank right now. That's okay. We don't need to think too much about that. Then we go into this. Now, we already discovered there's actually not that much use for Mirror Image here. So we're just going to sell it and level up the shop. Yes, we're immediately selling to level up the shop because leveling up the shop is our priority right now. So that's what we're going to go for. Just sell, level up. Very good. The only HP that's important is the last piece. Yeah, so the only HP that matters is the last point. Right, like that, we exactly care about 1 HP, and that's the very last bit of HP. Now, that's not entirely true, right? Like, sometimes it can be relevant to have a little bit of a buffer. Well, that's actually an advantage of playing the Dazzle. We always have a bit of a buffer of HP. But right now, again, it's fine. We lose the fight. Why did we lose this fight right now? Because we got actively weaker compared to the previous round. Important to remember, right? We're losing fights right now because we're playing in a way that not only doesn't make us stronger, but it actually makes us weaker. So as a result, well, we're just going to kind of suck, right? It's just not going to be that effective. But that's okay because it's just not a priority for us to actually win the fights at this point. So we come in here, we see some very nice things. We see Frost Shield, we see Reaper's Scythe. Reaper's Scythe is great, kills the dude, builds up HP regen and mana regen. It's a nice combo piece we can use for later. Now we are at a higher shop level, right? We are at shop level 4. At shop level 4, we have access to a wide range of stuff. We see what's in the pool, we can use it, we can access what's in the pool. And what's important about that is that it makes it so we can actually build towards combos already. We have the ability to get stuff online. Reaper's Scythe, sick, very good. And, ooh, this is gonna be close. But I think we even win that fight. Perfect, perfect. Now, 18 gold to upgrade. We're gonna do it. Look, I know that we just could have bought this Frost Shield, we could have gotten the Acid Spray, right? We would have gotten more powerful, but that's okay, because right now we don't even have the heroes to put stuff on. I think that's really important to remember. I level up aggressively. I play an aggressive curve because I don't have 5 heroes right now. If I were to buy abilities, who would I put them on? It doesn't matter, right? Like, they don't benefit from them at this point in time. And as a result, I personally just don't value it as much. I just don't think it's as important. So instead, I level up the shop. And what this now means is we're at round 9. I am shop level 5, while everybody else level 2, level 3, level 2, level 4. That's actually pretty high level. Level 4, level 2. Right? I have way outscaled everybody else if it comes to this specific element. And this specific element matters. So there's a Slaughter. Let's have a look around really quick. We also see Sniper, which I think is actually a really, really fantastic ranged unit. But I probably want to do like a melee carry. Interesting. No, let's get the Slaughter for now. We can always reconsider later. And then we buy Acid Spray and we buy Frost Shield. We do not buy Vampiric Spirit because it doesn't help us. We don't actually plan on keeping it. We do like reactive armor. It is very good. Now, Burrow Strike is a very good ability as well. And this is where, frankly speaking, you're just going to kind of need to know what abilities are good and what aren't. And I know that's not very helpful, but at the end of the day, like, this game is a bit of a knowledge game. You need to know what is good. And the only way to really know what is good is to know what is good. I'm going to go ahead and just buy some stuff here. We need to make sure we actually purchase things. I'm currently lacking a little bit behind. It's actually a bit of an unfortunate quirk because we level up the shop so quickly. The game doesn't account for us having this high shop level and doesn't give us enough time to really make our decisions. But that's okay, right? We're hanging in there. So you can see we're starting to win because we are able to optimize our build more aggressively than the other players.
Hello, I am Warlock. And I enchant you to leave a like on the video. Thank you very much.
So here is Fervor, which is fantastic. That's really good for our Fury Swipes, right? There is Rage, which is also very good. We're going to go ahead and get this. There's more Fervor. There is more Frost Shield. And there's more Flesh Golem. For now, I think that's okay. And then we can put these over here. So our Bloodseeker is kind of online. You can see what I'm doing right now is I'm buying abilities that are either used for late game combos. So we've got Fervor and Fury Swipes, and we've got Rage, which is just kind of some protection for this hero. And on top of that, I am building stuff that will synergize right now and work right now. Now, role explanation again. We have 2 supports. The supports are going to be positioned around here, and their job is mostly to kind of keep the heroes alive. Make sure that they can do their job. We have a frontliner. The job of the frontliner is just to soak spells and be disruptive. If the frontliner dies, the frontliner did a good job. I know that may sound a little weird, but that means the frontliner soaked all of the damage they had. And that's it. That's what we want from him. That's what we're looking for, right? Of course, it's ideal that the frontliner survives, but it's not a requirement, right? Like, that's just not something we're looking for. It's okay. If the frontliner dies, then that's good, all right? As long as we did the damage we need to do. So we're going to get Flame Guard. This is, again, just another thing to kind of like support us here. And now we need to start looking into, well, how do we build into the late game? Like, what is our 5th hero here? Right? And I think we already have a piece. We have Rolling Boulder. Now, Rolling Boulder is a very powerful ability because it's a lot of disable. Now, we need to think about, like, how do we combo that? What do we use with Rolling Boulder? Well, Rolling Boulder needs some extra damage to really function. Without that extra damage, you can't really do it. So we could get Infernal Blade. That's a really great way of going about it. And we can get Overcharge, which also works well with it. And then we can come in here, and there's Chemical Rage, which we want for the Bloodseeker, right? And then we buy Paralyzing Cask, and I guess we keep leveling up the Flesh Golem. Why not? Reaper's Scythe connects. Now, I should talk about Reaper's Scythe. Reaper's Scythe, super nice ability, because it kills a dude, and then you farm Reaper's Scythe stacks. And that's good, because these are permanent. So they can carry between heroes, and that's super valuable. So here's a Kunkka, a Naga Siren, or a Queen of Pain. I'm going to get the Kunkka. That seems okay. So we pick up Infernal Blade. We pick up Grow. We pick up Bloodlust. We pick up False Promise. We pick up Heavenly Grace. Now we have too much stuff. So this right here goes. We put this on you. Now, this comes on here. We need to start rearranging stuff pretty heavily. So we have the... what's it called? The False Promise that can come over here. And then this guy's job right now is mostly just to enable the Bloodseek. Oh, that's the wrong unit. That's not good. All right, sell this here. We put the Heavenly Grace and we put the Bloodlust on you. Now you can have these abilities. Those are good for you. And then we kind of look around a little bit more. There's more Reaper Scythe. There is more Rage, both of which are fantastic. We get Infernal Blade. So you can see now our builds are starting to come online. The Slaughdar is tanky. And that's fine. That's all he needs to do. Just takes the hits, right? Like he's getting attacked, he's distracting things. That's enough. The Bloodseeker is strong. He does a lot of damage. And he's not as vulnerable as he might be because we have the Winter Wyvern dedicated to keeping the Bloodseeker alive and making him stronger. Giving him the Heavenly Grace, giving him Bloodlust. These are really nice tools to make the Bloodseeker more relevant. Now, we want to kind of keep looking around for things that work in the same way. So we keep maxing out Acid Spray because, again, the Lich is a support. His job is to enable the team. Now, what we can also do, for example, is get rid of Vampiric Spirit. We can move Paralyzing Cask over here and then get Inner Beast. This is more attack speed for the Bloodseeker still. Because you have to think about the Winter Wyvern as an extension of the Bloodseeker, right? The Winter Wyvern doesn't exist as a hero herself. She just exists to make the Bloodseeker stronger. And that's fine. In that way, she's very effective. We get ourselves reactive armor, which is nice, makes that more powerful. And we build up Overcharge and Infernal Blade over there. Our Kunkka is just chilling. He's just hanging out. Very good. Oh, hello, Small Ricky. How are you doing? Sorry, I'm giving a bit of an explanation on how to play this mode right now. People asked for it. Oh, Reaper Scythe didn't quite connect in the way that we want to, but that's okay. So you can see what happened in this fight is that our Kunkka died. And that's okay. Because the Bloodseeker is still doing his work over to the side. We got ourselves Acid Spray leveled up. Now, I'm leveling up Acid Spray because Acid Spray has a good level 6 and a good level 9. Now, you kind of need to determine to what level you want to level up certain abilities, right? And that kind of depends on the particular game. It kind of depends on how things are going. There are certain abilities that are really good to get all the way maxed out to level 9. There are certain abilities where you only want level 3. That varies. And there's no one universal answer that I can give you there. Right? I can't just say for this get that and for that get this. No. It varies depending on the ability and there's no strictly correct answer. So it's just something where you kind of need to have a look and determine what you think is good. So for example, personally, I don't really like the level 9 Fury Swipes and I don't really like the level 6 Fury Swipes that much. Sometimes I will go for it if I get like a lot of Fury Swipes, but generally I think this is an ability where level 3 is really good. Right? Frost Shield, the level 6 is amazing. 4 seconds extra duration, extra HP, extra damage reduction, HP regen, 50 HP regen. That's huge, right? Massive, absolutely massive. But the level 9, you get Shivas. I mean, that's nice, I guess. But is it important? Not really. So that's an ability where I think it's fine to only go for level 6. Now, why wouldn't I just go for level 9 on everything? Well, the problem with going for level 9 on everything is that you just can't. I guess that's the entire sentence. You just can't do it. You just don't have enough money. And if you don't have enough money, well, then you will look like an idiot. It's just that simple. Okay. We'll sell this, and then pick up these two and lock here. I did that little trick right there where I bought and sold something which opens up these 2 slots in the store now. Right? So these 2 slots are open. I lock at the start of the round. All empty slots get re-rolled. This way I just get a larger automatic re-roll at the start of the round. How come your profile is Immortal 200? Well, I'm currently ranked 200 in this game mode. That's how. Alright, so you can see here the Bloodseeker is just kind of doing work. Lich is glitching out a little bit, that's fine. Alright, slam the Reaper Scythe, good, good, good. And you can see we are like easily controlling the fights and winning them. Now, I'm not currently relying too much on the Kunkka just yet, because the Kunkka is not leveled up to the degree that we really need him to be. Like, this is where we're getting a little unlucky, we're not finding Rolling Boulder. That's okay though, not much to worry about. Alright, we're gonna get it later. There's our Fury Swipes, very nice. There's the Rolling Boulder. Look, I said we're gonna get there, right? Buy, sell, get the Rolling Boulder. Cool. Nice. Now, I should maybe explain what the plan is with the Kunkka. I haven't really explained that yet, right? Because right now the Kunkka is just chilling over here. So the plan with the Kunkka is to have Rolling Boulder so he smashes into the backline. But I have actually been secretly farming up this Reaper Scythe here, which currently gives 45 HP region and 15 mana region. Once this Reaper Scythe is at level 6. Also, I should rearrange this stuff a little bit here. Once this Reaper Scythe is at level 6, I'm going to give it to the Kunkka. And then he'll have a huge amount of health regen. So I'm also buying Chain Frost, which I will then put on the Lich. Right now the Kunkka is not that crucial because it's fine, whatever. The rest of the team works nicely enough, right? Go ahead and get ourselves these. Now, I should probably go ahead and explain all of my ability choices really quick, just so you hopefully have a good understanding afterwards why I made the choices that I made. So let's go through all of them really quick. Heavenly Grace. Amazing god tier ability, right? 50% status resistance, pretty much the only thing that will give status resistance. Super, super, super good. You want it. This is an ability that you just want to buy every game. Bloodlust. Well, I have a hero that depends on getting close to enemies and then just punches them in the face. Bloodlust is great for that. Keeps them going. Force Promise. Protects one of my dudes. Makes them live longer. And potentially makes them survive because, for example, it amplifies the health region of Chemical Rage. Great. So that's another thing that, but it just exists to support a Bloodseeker. Attack speed. Well, you know what works well with Chemical Rage? Attack speed. So more attack speed. Frost Shield, we already talked about god tier ability. Acid Spray. We found it early. We upgraded it early. I don't know if I would normally go for this. Why are we so far out? That's kind of funny. I don't know if I would necessarily always go for this high of a level of Acid Spray, but we ended up finding it, so I'm not going to complain about it. Right? And it's fine. Also, level 9 Acid Spray is actually very good. So that's fine. Paralyzing Cask. Actually, a very, very nice ability that I think is very powerful. If you can go for Paralyzing Cask, I would pretty much always recommend it. It's just a nice stun that is repeated. Oh, the Kunkka. Oh, the Kunkka is here. The Kunkka is here. So we got the Rolling Boulder now at level 6, which is very nice. But yeah, it's just a nice stun. It doesn't stun super long, but honestly, like 8 bounces. Sick. Really nice. It's also a great ability that doesn't need to be upgraded that much. Right? Like, level 3 is great. If you can get level 6, that's even better because you get the 12 bounces, which is brutal. But at the same time, it's a fine ability. Also, 14 seconds cooldown usually means you get to use it twice. Then, Reaper Scythe. This is for a combo later, and also it's just a nice ability early on to kind of just kill a dude, which is really handy. Then, Chemical Rage. Best attack speed spell in the game. Best just melee carry spell in the game. Super god tier spell. There's not much to be said here. It just makes your hero attack really quickly and also keeps them alive, gives them movement speed. It is incredible. Fury Swipes and Fervor. Pretty self-explanatory. Lots of right-click damage, right? And then Rage. Just very helpful for actually enabling your dude to do what they want to do. Hey, look at us. We finally found Ink Spell. So let's go ahead and sell Flame Guard and stick Ink Spell on our dude here. Which is very nice. Then let's have let's roll really quick. Just to make sure we kind of know what's going on. Get all of these. Thank you. Okay. That's all fine. That's all fine. We'll lock here again for the Inner Beast. But yeah, this ability is super good. I don't like it as much on ranged heroes because the base attack time reduction is less on ranged heroes and they don't benefit as much from the health regen and the movement speed. I think it's kind of a little worse there, but it's just generally all around a god tier ability. Rage works really well with this because it gives you bonus movement speed. Magic immunity because with melee heroes they need to actually get in. So they kind of expose themselves a little bit, and so having magic immunity, particularly towards the early stages of the fight, protects them because it makes it so, like, the fights, the way they play out is everybody throws all of their shit on right away, right? And because all of the abilities get thrown right away, rage at the start of the fight is really the main time when you need it, right? Like, you don't, like, sure, rage, perma rage would be great, but like, honestly, if you just have rage for the beginning stages, that's already quite good. Like, that's actually more often than not, plenty. Okay, so we have the level 6 Reaper Scythe now. I'm not gonna move it on the Kunkka right now because we would be gold inefficient to do that, and that's fine. But just to kind of give you a bit of a showcase of why I like Reaper Scythe so much. So our Lich now from the level 6 Reaper Scythe gets 162 health regen and 54 mana regen. It's insane. Like, just, that's so much. That is so much. It's a crazy amount. And that's exactly kind of the point, right? On a hero like Kunkka, there's just like infinite mana, and he's got high HP anyway. And, you know, he's going to like be in the backline a little bit. So with the health regen, he's going to be incredibly difficult to take down. But yeah. Okay, so that's our Bloodseeker explained, I think. Right? And you see how fast he runs? And now he can just come in here, overwhelm this dude, and got him all. Very good. So we'll move this down here and then give you the Chain Frost, which is, I think, obviously good, right? It just does a lot of damage, bounces like 5 times 385. That's 2,000. I mean, it's like 2,000 damage minus 5 times 15, so minus 75. It's 1,925 damage, right? Like, that's pretty intense. Yeah, I think so. I think it's right. Anyway, like, it's just, it hits hard. Like, it's also like an ability you can just throw out and you don't have to worry about anymore, which is great. Now we level this up. We get more Frost Shield. I don't mind I don't think Bloodlust leveled up is that good because the super gives you a little bit extra attack speed, but I also cast it on yourself. Like, who cares? I don't care if my Winter Wyvern has Bloodlust. That's not important. Then we've got our Slaughter here. So the Slaughter is not necessarily the most conventional way you would play a frontliner. Like, you can like just put the Saber on the dude. Like, you can get Ravage, Medusa Ultimate. I really like Chronosphere. But this also works. So what I have here is I've got Flesh Golem, which is a great damage amping tool, which is very nice because it just makes it so that everything else your team does deals more damage. Like, puts him in a bit of a supporting role as well. But it also makes the hero really tanky. So our Slaughter has a lot of HP. Inkswell, because Inkswell is broken, we want to put it on somebody. Super good ability, AoE stun, purge, all of that stuff. Anchor Smash. Anchor Smash is actually a lot of damage reduction. 60% damage reduction, big AoE, works out great. And then just a bit of survivability. Reactive Armor is a nice way to have that. And then we've got Rolling Boulder over here. This is a great ability because it's a super long stun, does a good amount of damage. Also, it attacks the backline, which kind of breaks the AI, and then all of the enemies in the backline start attacking the Kunkka. And it just kind of like disrupts the enemy's like overall strategic positioning. And that is really good for us. We like that. I don't like maxing out Rolling Boulder. I don't think it does that much when maxed out. Alright, cool. So now we have Inner Beast. Look at this. Now it gives Vladimir's aura. That is huge because our Bloodseeker up to this point hasn't actually had lifesteal. Now he does. He actually has proper lifesteal. All of a sudden he becomes even more difficult to kill. By the way, very unfortunate we haven't gotten more Chemical Rage, but that's okay. Like, it's still working fine. Right? But you see he's got lifesteal now, and it makes such a huge difference. Absolutely massive. And this is why I like having 2 threats. Right, like, one of them might die here, like the Kunkka is kind of in dire straits. Oh, he's actually okay. Look at that, he just doesn't die. Look at that health reach. It's fine. Look at his health reach. He's doing just okay. He doesn't need to worry about anything. Alright, get overcharge, get this maxed out. Or like get it to level 6. And then level this up. Sure, why not? So anyway, now what's going on with the Kunkka, right? So I like rolling Boulder. I like overcharge because it amps up your damage. I like it because it can also actually become a bit of a supporting tool. It gives you a lot of reach, gives you some attack speed. Like I'm just explaining what it does, but it's just a nice little supporting ability you can slap into this particular build because it gives you that like additional strength. Overcharge can also be used as a supporting tool once it's level 6. But it's also just nice on casters, on any right clicker. It's just a really nice flexible ability. It does use a bit of mana though, so you need to account for that. Right? Infernal Blade, nice, simple, kind of like stunning tool, and it does a good amount of damage. And it's just something that works well on heroes that don't have space for a different way to deal damage, which our Kunkka doesn't really. And then Reaper's Scythe, which just kind of makes it so that he's got 225 HP region. And we win! There we go. And now I'm rank 178. Why Flesh Golem only level 3? Because Flesh Golem doesn't really do anything at a higher level. Like, it spawns zombies, but like, who cares? Like, it just doesn't matter, right? If we have a look at Flesh Golem here. So Flesh Golem, it reduces the cooldown, but who cares? Right? Like, it's got 95 seconds cooldown. Who gives a shit? Like, it doesn't matter. And then you spawn a zombie when you attack. Also, who gives a shit? Right? Like, it just doesn't actually matter. Like, these are things that aren't important. But that, in turn, actually makes Flesh Golem kind of a nice ability. I know that may sound weird, but I like it precisely because you don't have to level it up past level 3. You buy it, get it to level 3, and then you're good. That's fine. Like, it's totally acceptable to do that. And I generally don't... So what I never go for is level 9 abilities. You may notice I didn't have a single level 9 ability in my build. That's because level 9 abilities are... Not to say that they are overrated, but they are unreliable. And that kind of, in turn, makes them overrated, right? Like, you may have a level 9 ability, but the fact that you have it, in the end, doesn't actually make that much of a difference. Because you probably invested so many resources into getting that ability. I think it's generally better to get a wider range of level 6 abilities. So you can see, I have this level 6, this was about to get there, this is level 6, this is level 6. These were kind of getting upgraded to that point. And I also tend to pick abilities that are really good at level 6, that have nice upgrades there. Anchor Smash, for example, has a really nice level 6 upgrade because it reduces damage even more. You've got Inkspell, which has a really nice level 6 upgrade, increases radius, gives a heart dispel, gives healing. Right? Rage has got a really nice level 6 upgrade. You run really fast. You get 7 seconds in magic immunity, which is actually more than enough. And so on, right? Like even Ravage, what's going on there? Chemical Rage has a really nice level 6 upgrade because it gives you additional health region, gives you movement speed, and so on. So that's kind of like the way I like to play. I like to go for the level 6 upgrades. I don't prioritize the level 9 upgrades. If I may, really quick, since this is kind of meant to be a bit of an educational video, abilities that I think are really, really good. Let's just tackle them from the top. Chemical Rage is super nice. Corrosive Skin has fun combos with the Reaper Scythe because it's just like a way to kind of keep the hero alive and also spread damage. And then also with the Static Field because you can use it to trigger Static Field. That way your hero can actually do a lot of damage. Corrosive Haze is a great tool for just one-shotting things. So it's a bit of an ability that is a little weird. I think it's probably the only ability in the game where it's best at level 1. Not because it's weaker at level 1, weaker at level 3 than would be at level 1, but it's just because you need so little investment into it to get value out of it. So what I like to do is I pick it up early, put it on one of my units, use it for a little bit, and then sell it later. Because being able to just nuke something down with attacks becomes less relevant the longer the game goes on. Dragonblood can be nice if you aren't feeling reactive armor. I've seen people go for Feast a lot. I think Feast is super overrated and terrible. I really do not like it. I think Death Pulse is nice, but it uses too much mana. So if you want to use Death Pulse, first of all, you want to get it to level 6. Level 9 isn't that good, but level 6 is really good. But you need to make sure you have mana. So you either need to play Pugna, or you need to get Essence Flux on the hero, or you need to get Chakra Magic, or you need to get Reaper Scythe. Any of those three will do, but you have to have one of them. Otherwise, Death Pulse will just burn through your mana pool too quickly. We saw False Promise is super, 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 super good. I actually quite like Flame Guard. It, surprisingly enough, often doesn't get broken. I know that seems weird, but like 500 Magic Absorb is actually kind of enough. like surprises me a lot. It catches me off guard with how effective it can be. So I'm actually a pretty big fan of Flame Guard. Flak Cannon, I've not really been able to make work that much. The big problem with it is that it's got a radius of 1000 that can sometimes not be enough. So yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it. As I said already, I like Inner Beast, and I think that's like a bit of an unusual spell for people to like. Like I like going for Inner Beast because I think the Vladimir's aura is really nice. Then we get Grow here. Grow is super, super good, particularly at level 6. It's nice because it gives some tankiness with the damage output, right? And it works nicely, for example, actually with Mirror Image, because you get the summons and then you get the additional damage, the status, no, the base damage, which the summons also, the illusions also get, and then you can attack very effectively. And that works nicely with a Curse of Awareness, because the illusions can trigger Curse of Awareness. And then at that point, you just need one more ability. I often make that take aim. So that's like how you can see how you can find a build, right? Like what synergizes with Grow? Well, Mirror Image does, because the Mirror Image illusions, they get base damage as, you know, like that they base their damage on, I guess. That's a weird way of putting it. But like the 40% of the damage that the Mirror Image illusions deal is based on your unit's base damage. Well, Grow gives you a lot of base damage, so these two abilities synergize. Well, next question, what synergizes with Mirror Image or Grow? Right? You can kind of find both. But like ideally, what synergizes with Mirror Image? Well, Curse of Awareness does, because each of the illusions can trigger the Curse of Awareness, so boom, you immediately get it. And then the next question, okay, and what synergizes with all of those? Well, there's a lot of other things you can do, right? You can try to like find lifesteal or more attack speed or freaking whatever. But what I like to go at that point is just attack range, so you can attack more freely. Rage is obviously super good. Reaper Scythe, you saw me use it, which I really like. I think it's a very good ability. I think both Ravage and Stonegaze are totally valid frontline tools if you want to use them. And particularly, by the way, Rage. So in the game's current state, the way the game is right now, there's basically the only thing that counters Rage Main, which is what I call going for Rage and Freezing Field. The only thing that counters it is Global Silence. That's it. I don't think there's any other ability that can actually counter it. Oh, no, that's not true. Chronosphere. Chronosphere and Global Silence. Those are the only tools that will actually counter a Rage Maiden. So I heavily recommend going for Rage Maiden every time you can. It is absurdly powerful. It is absurdly powerful. Oh, I suppose actually Walrus Punch could also do it. Bash counters it. You're not gonna get a hit in. In theory, you can bash it. In theory. In actuality, your bashers are not getting close enough. Right? That's just not gonna happen. So I wouldn't put faith in that. Stonegaze? Oh yeah, Stonegaze. Look, there's more stuff. Look at that. Yes, Stonegaze. Anyway, there's a few things that can counter it, I suppose. But all of those are ultimates. And frankly speaking, if it doesn't get countered, it just means you fight immediately. All right, so I heavily recommend going for Rage Maiden every single fight. Vacuum is actually a fun ability as well. It's just fairly disruptive and it works nicely with stuff. So I like Vacuum quite a lot. Sunder surprisingly can be effective too, but it kind of needs the level 6. But you can actually do a frontliner with like tanking stuff and then Sunder. But I also like having Burrow Strike on that, because that way you can actually position yourself properly. Burrow Strike is generally very good because it's an ability that helps you get damage in, it stuns, it's an AoE, but most importantly, it fixes your positioning, right? A lot of melee heroes need to get close, and that's one. Now, we need to talk about the best build, the best builds in the game really quick. So Rot and Sticky Napalm, God tier build, right? I like going Rot, Sticky Napalm, and then repositioning as like just something that will reposition, and then something that will either enable you to attack or will survive. So borrow time, chronosphere, that kind of stuff. So that's like one of the best builds in the game. Rage Maiden already talked about, and here Ghost Ship, also very good ability, by the way. Kraken Shell, super good ability, mostly because you don't have items, right? And 70 damage block is actually just all of the damage block if nobody has items, right? Like, think about it that way. Like, your opponents don't have items, right? So how are they gonna deal enough attack damage to get through 70 damage block? They just can't. Right? Like, how do you do that? You don't. Unless you have a dedicated, and now, of course, a dedicated right clicker can. So my Bloodseeker from the last game, this guy would have been able to get through it. But do you guys think there's any chance this Slaughter or this Lich or this Winter Wyvern ever gets through the Kraken Shell? No, they will never be able to do enough damage. And that's exactly the point, right? Eye of the Storm, God tier ability, works really well with Rolling Boulder. Like, you can do this build, but then what I like to do sometimes is replace Infernal Blade and Reaper Scythe, and instead of going for those two, get another tanking ability. Kraken Shell would be great, and then get Eye of the Storm, and then Eye of the Storm kills everything. But even if you don't do that, just take Eye of the Storm and stick it on a backline. Right? Just any of them, doesn't matter. Like, this Lich, instead of having Chain Frost, could have Eye of the Storm, and he probably would have done more damage. I know that may seem crazy, but like, genuinely, it's that powerful. Then, similarly, Life Drain, great ability. What's amazing about Life Drain is that it heals you while dealing damage, right? It has a low cooldown, but most importantly, the AI is actually smart enough to cast it on allies sometimes. So, if your carry is dying, sometimes your support will just decide, actually, no, you are going to stay alive. And then your support has 300 health regen all of a sudden. And we saw how good 300 health regen can be, right? So Life Drain, super good, super strong ability. I would really recommend. Like, this is an ability where if it's in the pool, I put it on one of my supports 100% of the time. Not just sometimes, 100% of the time. I really want to stress that. This ability is super, 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 super broken. Okay. Luminosity. So this is kind of where I was going. I love a build which is basically this. You get Chemical Rage, you get Fervor, and then you get Jingle Master and Luminosity. And with those two abilities, you can, first of all, Rage is then available in the pool for another hero, because you can only have each ability on each hero once, right? So by freeing up Rage, we can then do a Rage Maiden. But it makes a hero that does a ton of attack damage, but also constantly healing. It actually deals more damage, in my opinion, than Fury Swipes. But it also has more staying power, which is a really big deal. So that's one of my favorite builds I've been using a lot. Never Toxin, amazing ability. If you can put it on one of your dudes, incredible. Lucent Beam. This ability is probably the only ability in the game where I will say the level 9 is worth really investing into. Because it will just instantly win you the game. If you get Lucent Beam to level 9, you instantly win the game. It is not that good at level 3. It's fine. It's not incredible. It's fine. But at level 6, it actually starts being okay. And again, at level 9, it will instantly win you the game. So this is a great ability. Really recommend it. Okay, I wanted to kind of tell you about the best builds in the game. So the best builds in the game are kind of these style of supports, right? So this build or this build, something like that, with Life Drain and something mixed in. Then a right clicker like this, I always like a lot. I think they're super, super powerful. Then over here, Rolling Boulder. I think Rolling Boulder abuse is just broken. Rot and Sticky Napalm is an insane combo. We talked about Curse of Awareness with Mirror Image. That's really, really, really good as well. So something I would definitely recommend there. And am I forgetting anything? Corrosive Skin and Static Field. is huge amounts of damage. It seems like a very minor thing, but very frequently that build will be the highest damage build in a lineup like this, right? Where I've got a lot of these like really powerful things going on. And I'm probably forgetting about something, but I'm just gonna leave it there. I'm almost certainly forgetting about stuff. Oh, this is a fun ability as well. Mortimer's Kisses is pretty good. Abilities that I think are very much not as good as they may seem might be also worth mentioning. So there are some spells that may seem really powerful, but that, I don't know, from my experience, they just aren't. They just don't work as nicely as they should. I don't like Elder Dragon Form. I used to like it, but I don't. It doesn't give bonus attack range. That is a property that's been removed from it. And I just don't think it's that good. Like, it's not worth an ultimate slot. Sometimes you don't have anything better available, but oftentimes you do. And that's just, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't go for it that much. I do not like Glades of Wisdom. They're actually terrible. Which is kind of a surprise. But the big thing is that you only get bonus int if it's super. And by the time it's super, it's 15 minutes into the game. You're never going to get there. I think Impetus is terrible. It does a lot of damage, but the mana consumption is just too high. 75 mana per hit is unsustainable. So I don't like it at all. I think it's sadly a little too powerful for its own good. I don't like Pulse Nova that much because it uses too much mana. I wish I could use that with Reaper Scythe. I know there's a god where you can put 2 ultimates on the same hero. If on that god you can put Reaper Scythe with Pulse Nova, then fucking win the game instantly, right? But I don't have that god, so I can't tell you about it. Yeah. Oh, also fun combo. Shapeshift, Spirit Bear, get some other summons in there. Actually kind of strong. It's not like super god tier, but like summons are actually decent and they will work nicely if you have Kana. I wouldn't go for them outside of Kana, but with Kana I think they're pretty good. And yeah. I'm just kind of looking for abilities that I feel like might be overrated. But no, I think everything else pretty much meets expectations more or less. Yeah. Okay, cool. Any more questions? Any more questions regarding this stuff before I close this out? I want to make sure that we kind of cover everything. Oh, Dispersion is okay, but it's not as broken as you might think it is. Like, it's okay. It's fine. It's not terrible, but it's not amazing. All right. Well, do you think that rerolling is not... Oh, why do I think rerolling hero is not worth it? So the big thing is that when you reroll a hero, you have a... So the way rerolling works is you spend 2 gold, and then you're presented with 3 different heroes to choose from. The problem is that there's no guarantee that those heroes are better than what you already have, right? If I were to reroll the Slaughter, there's no guarantee that the 3 heroes presented to me have a better option than the Slaughter. At which point, not only do I then have to pick something that is worse than Slaughter, but I probably have to spend another 2 gold re-rolling the Slaughter in the first place, right? Because I re-rolled the Slaughter for something better. I got something worse, so now I probably have to roll again. So now we have invested 4 gold, at which point we could have bought an ability and rolled the shop ones. And I think that is generally better. I will re-roll when you need to, but usually you don't. I think people have an obsession with this idea of D-tier heroes or S-tier heroes. Absolute fucking nonsense. I don't know how else to express that. Winter Wyvern, I believe, is a D-tier hero. Look at her. Look at her stats. They are fine. Recipes to buy reroll while the round is going. You're still spending money. You may have noticed I did not use that argument at all. I know you can do it while the round is going. I didn't argue that that you would be weaker for the next round. I'm arguing that you're losing too much money. You're being gold inefficient. Right? But Winter Wyvern stats are fine. I've got Bloodseeker. Bloodseeker is like a C or B tier hero or something like that. His stats are fine. Broodmother is a D tier hero. Broodmother. Broodmother has... have you guys seen Broodmother's stats? I don't know. I hope they're the same here. How do I read that? These are Broodmother stats. 3.2 strength, 3.4 agility, 2.0 int. These are the same stats as they are in the game. Probably Dota is loading the data from the game right now. But these are insane. Broodmother is a D tier hero, and she outclasses pretty much everything except for Monkey King. Like, Terrorblade is an S tier hero, and he has 2.0 strength gain. It's just like, okay, I guess your dude just gets fucking nuked down, right? Like, the thing is that this whole idea of like S and B and D, that's fucking nonsense. Look at the hero stats and treat them as they are. Don't base it on some arbitrary rating that was assigned to them. Like, it's not worth it. What you need to do is you need to reroll heroes when you desperately need a different hero. What I mean with that is you have a melee hero and you need it to be a ranged hero, right? Or you have a hero that just straight up doesn't have enough mana to do what he needs to do. In those situations, it is fine to reroll. Otherwise, don't. It is a waste of your money. 99% of the time, you're better off buying more shop spaces by doing like a purchase and sell, or just buying abilities instead. I've had moments where I tried to reroll because chat told me to do so, and I ended up spending 10 gold only to end up with the same fucking hero I started out with. Because every single time I rerolled, I just got terrible options. Like, if I were to take my D tier Broodmother and say, well, she's D tier, I want an S tier hero, and then I roll into Techies as my S tier option, but she's supposed to be an agility right clicker, yeah, well, then I'm gonna feel real fucking stupid about it, don't I? So, that's just that's just my opinion. I know other people disagree, but that's just how I feel about it. I practically never reroll heroes. This would be very different if you could cancel the reroll. If you could cancel the reroll, I would be more open to the idea. But you can't. You are forced to do it. If I click reroll on my slaughter, I might make it worse than he was before. This is not true for anything else in the game. If I click reroll on the shop, I never end up with one of my heroes getting weaker. I just always end up getting an improvement, and that's a really big difference. Okay, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Sorry for rambling so much about it, but I just thought this might be helpful. If you guys did enjoy it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.